Profits of China's biggest trading website operator fell some 34% still. Analysts were expecting an even bigger drop. Net profits at Alibaba.com came in at 38 million compared to projections of something like 31 million. So they did it right. Still, Alibaba attracted a lot of new customers, meaning higher marketing costs are paying off. They invest in luring people in and winning loyalty. CEO David Wei joins us, myself and Jing Ulrich for more. Hello, David.
Hi, good to see you.
Impressive. I mean, in this day and age, I guess the markets are more forgiving. You know, you can present the market with depleted top and bottom line or compressed profits and still be impressive, like you were this time. Was it worth the cost to reel in the customers?
Well, we consider it's not cost; it's the investment. It's the best time actually to invest during economic downturn because everything is cheap. To acquire customers cheaper. Marketing is cheaper, technology investment is cheaper, but investment needs some return. So we design our return in 3 phases. Phase 1, you need to see customer growth and have some visibility about revenue growth because of our deferred revenue model. So you see 44% customer growth, and you have see 37% deferred revenue growth, which is a strong indication about next 12 months' performance on our revenue. Then you can also imagine quickly about the phase 3 is the profitability improvement coming soon. So this is how we design to invest during the economic downturn.
What was this a one-quarter phenomenon? I mean, was this a phenomenon at the beginning of the year, or do you continue the sort of pathway that you're on right now?
The 2009 as a year of investment, quarter 4, 2008. And since then, we have seen 3 consecutive quarters. Each quarter beats the previous quarter's customer net addition. And each quarter, we see growing deferred revenue. So we will continue the path for this investment.
Jing, the results at Alibaba, what kind of a picture do they paint of this portion of the Chinese economy?
It's a very strong story. Yeah, we believe in the secular growth trend of the business. In fact, I have a question for David regarding competition.
Yeah.
You know, you've done very well, David, in your business, and you and Jack Ma have led the business from success to success. Has this come at the expense of competition? What is the overall competitive landscape like in your overall business?
In the last 12 months, from the third-party research, our market share in terms of revenue against all the peers expanded from 51% to 59.9%. So it's about 8.5, 8.6% improvement just in 12 months. So again, this shows the investment is paid back also from the market share point of view. And once you have about 60% market share, competitors actually is not in your telescope anymore. We never design any service pricing strategy for competition point of view. We only consider to solve our customers' real day-to-day issue. So Jack Ma about a few years saying, from our telescope, we've never seen any competitors, which is true. It's not because we are arrogant. It's our telescope should be used to watch our customers, not to watch our competitors.
You don't think you have a peer. You're in a class by yourself all these years. You don't really have any real pure head-on competition?
Our market share is 4 times bigger than the nearest 3 peer company, aggregated volume.
How do you do that? How do you keep them? Once you sign these people up, and you had a great quarter in terms of new sign-ons, how do you keep them loyal?
Well, Alibaba's culture is always invest in user first, then customer number 2, driving ARPU number 3. Everybody knows once you drive ARPU, you can improve profitability easily. But we are never in a hurry because we believe it's a very early penetration story. It's too early to drive profitability from a very small percentage of customers among 42 million SMEs in China.
You just made a big push into the U.S. market, didn't you?
Yeah.
How does that figure in?
This is our second round of global marketing focusing on the United States. The first round actually we did last October. But why we did last October is at the beginning of the crisis, we tried to awake more people, think about e-commerce and internet sourcing, help them to survive in the crisis. And I think that investment has been well paid back. Because before the campaign, normally it would take us at least 1 year to acquire 1 million global users. After the campaign, in the last 3 quarters, each quarter we put net adds 1 million global users. And now we think the whole world is coming through a slow recovery, economic point of view. And we want to awake people again, how e-commerce can help them through recovery. So that's why we launched a campaign from the 8th of August.
You don't think there's any saturation at all in the concept of e-commerce? Isn't there this certain phenomenon of first movers, second line, and third line movers? People who will have adopted it by now, given the alternatives out there. Maybe they've found other channels out there. I'm just kind of wondering what the exponential future of this industry is looking like.
I think in 5 years' time from now, nobody will talk about e-commerce. Because every e-commerce is
5 years from now, nobody's going to be talking about e-commerce?
Yeah, because everybody is using e-commerce. Every commerce is e-commerce.
So it's not an issue because it's ubiquitous, in other words. All right, David, Jing, we're going to continue this chat in a little bit. We're going to talk more with Alibaba.com's David Wei, and when we come back, we'll take more of your emails, too.
Walmart's shipping.
All right. Wow, this looks like my last checkup. You're actually looking at a ziggy-zaggy graphic of Alibaba.com site traffic for most of the year. And if you look at it, it trends upwards there, just like a lot of our technical analysis charts, especially over the last couple of months or so. Perhaps not a real shocker given the sort of, events which have come to pass with the improvements we've been seeing. David Wei, CEO of Alibaba.com, and Jing Ulrich would return with us for some final thoughts on the show today. Is that a direct result of the impact of trillions of renminbi in stimulus in the Chinese market, or what do you attribute
trillions
that
of
to?
renminbi stimulus plan can hardly reach small business directly. But overall, it helps the market to restore its confidence. It's helpful, but not directly helpful to small business we are working with.
Jing.
What about large companies then? Large companies transact business with each other daily, both within China and overseas. And you are, of course, serving a very underserved segment of the economy, SMEs, which is excellent. But in order to expand your revenue and profitability, would you think about targeting some of the larger companies?
Never. We are not interested in larger companies at all. Because larger companies need a very tailored service, one by one. And we offer an open platform, which is designed for small business. Actually, we can outsource small businesses, e-commerce, and IT solutions. We don't want to outsource big companies' IT or e-commerce. And they have their in-house capability to do it. So our mission is only help small businesses.
Well, that's very interesting. That's,
Well, if you ask me, you got 1 million revenue. We don't like 1 million coming from one corporate because that would be very demanding from 1 million. But we like 1 million coming from 100 companies, each company pays us 10,000. Which we love better is 1 million coming from 1,000 companies, each company is just paying us 1,000. That's what we believe is more scalable.
David, does that not mean if you want volume, if you want the numbers, if you want the sheer magnitude of your clientele, that makes it easier to take away larger chunks of them if somebody does come in with some sort of a formula or mindset that can start to kind of take aim at your business model. I mean, instead of having loyal customers with whom you have perhaps more intimate relationships, if I can use that term, having more sterile relationships, that, I don't want to say shallow, but that widespread could have bigger implications for you down the line.
Yeah, such widespread creates a network effect itself. The network effect can hardly happen between big corporates. And if we received 1 million from one corporate, it's very challenging for us to create value, say 10 million back to the big corporate. But if we receive only 10,000 RMB or 1,000 RMB from small business, we feel confident we can easily give them multi-times return from their investment with us.
What about the export business? You know, the export market has been in a downturn for the past 9 to 10 months now. So you're obviously linking up some of the domestic producers with overseas buyers. Are there any signs of recovery in the volume, in the types of products overseas buyers are interested in?
Last July, we are probably one of the earliest company in the world get some early sense of economic downturn coming soon. Because on our platform, people start with buyer's inquiry or buyer's order. When it comes to the custom office statistics, will be 3 to 4 months later, and that's only representing the past. So we can see something happening 3 to 6 months in advance. So that's why what I said in Q1 this year, the darkest period is behind us now, but recovery is slow. Now for China's export, what we can see, Q4 this year, the growth will not be negative. It will reach a neutral number. Can be single-digit positive as well from Q4 this year.
Right.
That's
David,
very interesting. That's a leading indicator of the overall export picture. Yeah.
But also focused on a different kind of swath. I mean, we're not taking we're not taking a China top-down macro view. It's also that particular layer within the economy, which you heard he's not even interested in talking to the huge companies with a million in capital relationships. I want to do a little bit of a quick housekeeping in our remaining time here with you. This is your 10th anniversary, right?
Yes.
Next month. You're going to be issuing $1 billion special dividend.
Yeah.
$1 billion. That's Hong Kong.
Dollar. Yeah.
That's still 130 million US. That tells
biggest
me
ever from Chinese internet companies.
That tells me you don't know, you have too much money, in the bank, and you don't know what to do with it, rather than buying up things which might augment your business. Is that unfair?
In May, our AGM, I told our shareholders we will first review investment opportunities. And if the cash we reserved is good enough to cover immediate investment opportunities, we will pay the back to shareholders, and we keep our promise. The cash we reserve still strong enough, over 6 billion RMB. Big enough to cover the immediate investment opportunities, which should be announced in coming months.
And what are you buying?
There are 3 priorities for my investment. Number 1, non-overlapping user and customers to our customer and user bases. Non-overlapping, if they have such a base. Number 2, new commercial applications, which we do not have. Number 3,
what are those? What's missing in commercial apps?
Well, for example, from August 1st, we announced a new structure for Alibaba.com. We set up 2 new business units. One is IT BU, which is IT solutions for small businesses, which is completely new for e-commerce. And that include IT hardware, IT software, IT maintenance, internet infrastructure, and telecom solution package. And among all these 5 elements, we will deliver through buying, building, or partnering. So in the coming months, you will see our investment in these areas very soon.
Okay. And Jing, see, I just made an introduction to you. Now you can talk business with David and do great things.
We've known each other for a long time. Yeah, but it's great to catch up with you.
It's great to have friends. We love to call ourselves Asia Confidential, Bertie and Friends. David, thank you for your time today. Nice set of results, okay? And you're getting rewarded in the market, of course. Jing, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you to all of you for watching. This is Asia Confidential.